we welcome in Alamogordo Tigers head football coach Dale Hooper. And Coach, hey, the monkey's off the back. I mean, I know you've only been here for 3 years of it, but I could tell that the players, the coaches, it was something you guys really wanted to make happen against the Mayfield Trojans.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, Mayfield's a great program, and that's the level we wanted to get to. The last 2 years have been pretty hard. When my first year, and I thought my first year here, we even played them tough there. And when we had a choice to keep Cruces or Mayfield on our schedule, that wasn't much of a choice for me. I wanted Mayfield, and I wanted Mayfield on our schedule because I know the rival it is there, and it's obviously a rival that they've been dominating for quite some time. But I talked to you earlier about it. I felt pretty confident. What our kids. When I looked at them in the, when you talk to a kid and you look them in the eye and stuff, you could tell if kids are ready to play, and there was no question our boys are ready to play football. And I felt pretty good going to that game. I definitely was pretty intense that entire game. The kids coach, I've never seen you so intense and coach it. I said, yeah, I just, I didn't want our kids let up, and we got to fix some problems though. Our special teams, we're going to improve that. We've been working that already, and we'll be working at more today. And those are some areas that we got to fix because defense has just been playing unbelievable football, unbelievable. And when they're getting short fields, I think 3 drives were inside the 30. We can't have that. We've got to fix that problem, and we will fix it. It will be fixed. So we'll take care of that and fix some holes in our PAT also because we missed some PATs that we can't miss it later on in the season. And but besides that, I'm really proud of how hard our kids played, all of them. From the offensive line was unbelievable. We weren't trying. It was no secret what we were doing. That third and fourth quarter, the kids started calling out the play. Our kids were calling out the play. They knew what was coming, and it was just we wanted to come at them and play hard. And it's so funny. You hear people, well, Mayfield's down. And Mayfield is not down. They're a good team, and they're going to be good, and they're going to go deep in the playoffs. Hopefully, we could be on the opposite sides. If we got to keep playing to get in. Obviously, because it's still early in the season. We got to play hard throughout, and if the Lord blesses us enough, we can get in the playoffs, and hopefully we could be on the opposite sides of the bracket and have another shootout in the state championship, and it would be at their place because we owe them. So, but yeah. it'd be great to do. And Cleveland, Cleveland is still the one to beat right now. They look pretty darn good. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of good teams up towards the top of the state, and you guys are most certainly in the middle of that discussion. Talk about what it means. You've been a coach for many, many years. In terms of a win like that, Mayfield being a perennial power, what that does for a program, what that does maybe for this team for the rest of the year.
Well, I don't know if I could say, because our kids are confident. They're not cocky. They're not cocky, but they're very confident in their ability and what they're doing. And I think offensively, we feel we could put points up against it, and we talked about that. Earlier in the radio show stuff. Our offense has definitely got a confidence in it, but our defense is, man, they're just mean. I'm telling you, that's all I can really say. They want to just take people out. They come with a vengeance when they go to hit people, and our defense is just a special group. You got look at our linebackers. You got Silva, Brandon, Isaiah, Nico. All of those kids right there. I would, man, if I was ever getting in a fight, that were the kids I want next to me. I'm just saying, those kids are just tough kids. And then our D-line, we didn't have Peter last week, and so he'd gotten turf toe, and it was killing him, and so we didn't play him last week. Hopefully we'll have him this week. And so we started rotating some offensive linemen there, and that worked out really well actually. And so, I don't know. I was really, really proud of the overall performance as a team. And I think that, again, we had to stop in the middle of a timeout and stuff. I'm talking. I just look at this. Look at the support we have in this community. It was amazing. And it was so loud. I couldn't call signals, by the way. We have a system, we have 3 coaches doing hand signals, and that doesn't matter. But anyway, we had to, because we couldn't yell. I lost my voice in the first quarter, so it didn't matter. I was yelling a lot. So it was loud. It was a really, really loud game, and when that first touchdown came, we'd had that called. We practiced. We knew that was going to be a play for us, and when we called it, it just happened to be 3rd and 9. That's all, and it was when it was exciting because we all knew it was going to happen, and when it did, and our place just erupted, it was pretty special.
Well, I would say that just the key plays throughout the game. Everybody I've talked to after the game, game turned on that 4th and goal stop. It seemed like when it was 14-7 and Mayfield was going in, that seemed to be the difference because then you guys went down the field and
drove 99 yards. Yeah. Exactly. There's nothing. In my opinion, in football, unless it's happening to me, but I'm just saying. But my favorite thing of all in football is a goal line stand, and obviously when I'm on defense, that's the best thing in the world. But there's nothing like a goal line stand. There's nothing. The scoring touchdowns, doing whatever. It's nothing like a goal line stand when you're playing a team like Mayfield, and to shut them down on that 1 yard line. That's pretty impressive. Our defense, man, I was so fired up right then. I yelled quite a bit. I was fired up. Our kids were fired up. Coaches were going crazy. It's they were not going to let them in. And then the best part about it, we came back out and it's weird because you have a junior, but you have a veteran quarterback like Kyle, and it's hard to say veteran but that's definitely what he was. And to come out, he got rid of the ball. We missed a block coming out of the end zone there, and we just missed a block. A kid had a dead run right at Kyle, and man, put it right in his chest, and right when Kyle let go of the ball. And that's where it's nice to have a veteran quarterback in that position because most of the time that would have been a safety. And Kyle hit Marcelo, and Marcelo picked up a first down, and then boom, the drive started, and that could have switched real quick, getting a safety, and that goal line stand, and then Kyle getting rid of that ball. And staying in that pocket and taking that hit, getting that ball to Marcelo, and that was 2 plays that pretty special. That 4th down and that play right there, getting us out of that end zone. 99-yard drive. That was nice.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning as well, and it's something we didn't talk about much last week, but Kyle was working through an injury last week.
Yeah,
and he maybe didn't get as much practice time as he wanted, and he came out and played probably his sharpest game of the year, wouldn't you say?
He did. I'm thinking maybe I don't let him throw anymore because he didn't throw last week. We didn't talk about it on the air. I didn't want to talk about that kind of stuff. I don't want people knowing our deepest details on what's going on. But yeah, Kyle had strained a lat muscle, and man, he couldn't even lift his arm, and it scared us. It scared the whole coaching staff, But as in players, we go out there, we're going to be fine. We're not a one-person team. There's no question about it. I could step out. Well, Alex we didn't have last week neither. But I could step Isaiah Sadania in there at quarterback, and I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, if people don't think Isaiah can't play quarterback, they're crazy. He's another veteran, has a year under his belt. Isaiah can step in and play quarterback, just unbelievable. It changes our play call because they're 2 different type of quarterbacks, but. So we were okay, and then the next thing, Isaiah got a lot of reps in practice too. Because I didn't let Kyle throw it all last week, and come pregame, all of us were Coach Matt and I were going out there. We just want to see what he looked like and how he threw, and excuse me. And Kyle was he's like, Dad, I feel really good, and so I was like, man, that was money because I knew we were going to throw the ball a lot against Mayfield because I just knew they were going to load their defense. They were going to load the box and to try to stop Hunter, and who wouldn't? I mean, my gosh, Hunter's is a whole nother animal, and even when I'm loading the box, he was still running the ball. It's just he's amazing. And so we knew we were going to throw the ball a lot. And I tell you what, after we kept throwing the ball, they sure emptied that box out. And then boy Hunter just started gashing them. And that was a lot of fun. It was definitely a lot of fun.
Got a big game from Hunter. Got a big run from Marcelo during that game. Let's talk about Marcelo. Marcelo was your Mr. Everything on Friday night. That kid did offense, special teams, and defense for you.
Marcelo, how can you not love that kid, though? I mean, if anyone meets Marcelo, you can't meet a better caliber kid than that kid. I mean, he's as, and don't take us the wrong way by no means, but that's the kind of kid I hope my daughter meets later in her life, and I'm much later, by the way. Okay, talking much later, but
you're not ready for that.
But
yet.
No, but I mean, he's such a great kid, and if you talk to the young man, he's just a good person. And you would never know and then you watch him on the field, and I mean, he tries to he tries to take people out. I mean, that kid will knock your head off, and it's just amazing the different when you talk to him and then he's on the field. And we knew, we've been talking about it. He's one of our, he's a good receiver. There's no question. He's a heck of a weapon, and we just haven't been trying to play him. And with when Alex couldn't play, we obviously had to step Marcela over. And I was going to let Marcela play anyway. No matter what, he was going to play. He just got rushed into it, and so, but he can play it all. I mean, he hadn't been catching footballs. He's been playing defense. He had a half a day practice, and maybe a half a day practice. And look, I mean, it's just like he didn't forget anything. He's a pretty special kid.
Speaking of special, some of the catches that Julian Segura made on Friday night. I mean, how many people were up there talking? I mean, he's got Division I talent and size and the ability
without a question
to do that kind of thing. Julian, and another special kid, and that just goes to show your wide receiver and skill team talent is off the charts right now. It
is. I mean, you know, Kyle, we talk about, obviously my son and I, we talk all the time about this kind of stuff, but look at the weapons he's got. I mean, when we put that crew on the field, we have, when you go from Carlton, who by the way caught some huge passes for us.
Huge possession receiver for you on Friday.
Huge. I'm telling you, some of them 3rd and 15s, and oh man, they were giving it to him. So and 2 of those, by the way, Kyle checked those. And I seen it when he checked it, and I'm like, and I asked Kyle, I said, why'd you check that? Because I thought I had a pretty good play call myself. And he says, Dad, I didn't think we were going to get the first down. I said, well, good call, because you got the first down. So I was like, I guess if you thought my call wasn't going to get it. And he did. He checked it, and Carlton caught it for a huge first down. And but you got Carlton, and you got Marcelo, and then you have Alex, and you have Julian, and then you have Bateman too. I don't know. I know everyone's talking about all these other receiving cores like from Cleveland and all that. I'd put our receivers against anybody in the state, bar none. We may not be 6'4" across the board, but athletic wise, our kids will go get footballs, and they run routes, and they know how to get open. And the biggest key on receivers, and anyone that watches it, is how our kids know when to get open. That's crucial. It doesn't matter if they're open when the quarterback can't get you the ball. You got to be open when he can get you the ball, and that's a huge coaching point that these kids know. And that's 3 years of work, though. That's throwing the ball to them for 3 years straight. They all know how to find holes and know when to be open, because again, that's a crucial thing. He's wide open, yeah, but it doesn't matter. We can't get to the ball right then. It's timing, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and we're excited for our future right now.
Yeah, and I think the challenge as well, and I was talking about this just before you came in, is you come off such a big emotional win against Mayfield, and now you guys go on the road against a Gadsden team
for their homecoming.
Yeah, for their homecoming. It's a team that they've played a very tough schedule. It's certainly been a challenging year for Gadsden in terms of getting the focus back. That's probably a tough thing for you guys.
I was worried about that. I really was, but we went to practice yesterday, and we had a pretty solid practice. I was really impressed with our practice yesterday. Today, hopefully, will be another great day of practice. Our kids, they know they can't overlook because that Highland can kind of went in there, and I told you it's hard keeping them focused for that game, and it flipped around there after my penalty, and anyway. Yeah, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. At least I pray it doesn't ever happen again. I think our kids know I shouldn't have to get a penalty to get them fired up, and I think we'll see what happens. I know last year Gadsden was a hard one on our season. That cost us districts early. I mean, you think about how many players we got hurt there. We Julian broke his hand, or his thumb, and we lost Rios in that game too, ACL and MCL, and we lost Jesse Trujillo in that game, and that was a hard game last year. And people were like, man, they shouldn't have been close to you guys, and here you were. And I was like, well, yeah, but we lost some talent in that game, and it hurt us. And that's something I tell our kids. Any play, that could be your last. I said, you got to play everything full blast all the time, and that's what we got to do. We got to try to get off that field. That's for sure.
Yeah, certainly. And I think there's something else that comes out of the Mayfield game. As huge as that win was, and as much as that win means, you guys have got 6 games left in the year, and
That's
those
right.
3 games at the end of the season are the most important games
Absolutely.
you're going to play at the end of the year. Right?
That's right. Our kids aren't overlooking. I know everyone thinks, and it's so funny. I've had multiple people down. I keep their heads down. I'm like, I'm not worried. I don't mind. Our kids have a lot of belief and confidence in themselves. I don't want them. I don't expect my kids going out there brag, I'm this and I'm that, because that's not our kids, and that's not the way I coach them. But when they step on the field, you're darn right. They're second to no one, and that's the way they need to approach life. Because you're trying to teach these kids that they want to be winners. And I'm not trying to just people are like, oh, you want to produce good citizens. Yeah, obviously that's a given. But I'm trying to produce these kids to be our future leaders, and to be a leader, they do got to go out there with an attitude that, hey, this is my time. This is my time, not your time. And hopefully, I like that with our kids. I do, and I don't know. It shows on the field. It does.
How about? And I mean, we'll finish on this. Just the level of excitement that this group has provided for this community. I mean, we've been talking about this for a couple of years, and wanting this kind of thing. And we've already talked about how great the crowd was on Friday night, but just the palpable feeling of excitement around the community is fun.
I love it. I cannot stress enough. I know people hear me say it all the time. I'm so proud to be an Alamogordo Tiger. So proud. I can't go anywhere, it seems like, without people coming talking to us about a football program, and I love that. I do. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I love it. I mean, anyone that wants I want an opportunity to brag about our kids, about how hard they work. I could just go on and on about every kid in our program, and then even the kids that don't play on Friday nights. We have a lot of kids that help us and work their tails off during the week on scout teams and stuff, and people think scout team, that's lower. No, heck, our scout teams are pretty darn good, and they get after you. And it just, I don't know. Anytime I get a chance to brag about our players, I love it. And our community support, it's amazing. And the game Friday night, oh my gosh, it was packed. It was awesome. That's all I could say. It was a great place to be on Friday night. I don't know if I'm sure there was another game like it in the state of New Mexico on Friday night. Mr. Perry, what he's done with the black and gold, it's just brought more fire back into it. And then plus with our winning, and then to hear our soccer teams, our soccer teams are playing unbelievable right now too. It's just every sport across the board. We're trying to win it across the board on all of them. And I think when I tell people, our goal is to win a state title. I said that the first day when I came in here, and with Julian and Hunter and all those guys, when we're talking about our 7-on-7s. And it hasn't changed. That we want to win a district championship, that's first, and then we want to win a state championship, and that's not changed, and it hasn't changed. I think the only thing that's changed is now people think, oh man, maybe they can do that, and that's changed. It hasn't changed our minds. We knew from the summer that we were going to go out there and fight and maybe shock some people. It wasn't shocking us though. It's funny, Kyle. They talk. Yeah, it would have been Kyle. It would have been upset if we would have lost. It's not the other way around, because that's coming from them, and I agree with that. So,
I'll tell you what. I mean, the way they jumped out, and I mean, you guys, everything that we said is you guys were the better team on the field on Friday night. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you guys outplayed Mayfield and were deserving of that victory on Friday. And
that was a good Mayfield team too.
Yeah,
I don't know. People can say what they want. I'm telling you right now, Mayfield, they are a very, very well coached team. They got a lot of tradition, and they're going to be pretty salty coming out. I know. I feel bad for them right now, because I think they had I know they had one for sure, got a concussion, and maybe two. I feel bad for that. So they're going to El Dorado. They're going to be going in that game a little shorthanded, and but they got the depth, and they got the kids in there, and they were great kids, by the way. They I talked to a lot of them after the game, and just really classy kids, no question.
That's what we like to hear. Coach, congratulations again
Thank
on beating
you, guys.
Mayfield.
Thank you.
Look forward to see what happens Friday night against Gadsden.
Yes, Friday night.